We should show them the new thing here. All right, go ahead and find that.
What do they call this? It's the corporate motto. What do they call? Oh, it's the mission statement.
It's our mission statement.
It's our mission statement here at the Morning Stream.
We work with crazy people.
Because everybody said you should have a mission statement,
right
so
there.
we do.
All right, good morning, everyone. It's Todd and Morning Stream, GetPartDaily.com, and it's Friday.
Wow, boy howdy, there's some amazing stuff coming up this weekend too.
Erin has some stories. Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, someone wants to pay you $60,000 a year for 6 months to live in Cancun.
I will do that.
And do things like swim and drink and talk and eat and have fun.
That doesn't sound as bad as what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's going to be horrible.
That's not bad.
Why we must now like Drake. I'm sorry, it's
Drake,
now obligatory for Elvis. Hip hop.
Oh.
And a local group of teen girls actually proved that Rose was just totally a door hog in Titanic, and that Jack totally could have gotten back on that door.
I've been saying this forever.
That's true. It's very funny.
Same thing. I've been saying this forever, and it's true. I wanted to say I saw something really cool. First of all, I gave Erin. We're working something over the weekend, but I gave Erin a leaf blower because I've never seen a woman happier in my entire life.
There is an unreasoning sense of power that comes to you with a leaf blower, one that I never understood before. You could even scour the earth clean.
But she's
and everything goes into a tidy pile, and you just take it away.
No, she's a criminal. You know what she did the other day? She took all the leaves and pine needles that weren't ours.
Well, they weren't ours.
And you blew them back across the street into their gutter.
It's all their pine trees. None of us have any pine trees on our side of the street, and we are covered in their pine needles.
So the coolest thing I saw yesterday, and this is the answer to all people's problems.
Okay.
A leaf blower, what do? You blow the leaves off your yard.
Yeah.
And where do they go? Along the gutter, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah.
Then the arduous task of going and getting a bag, and then it folds over, and you can't get the leaves in, and you put it in the barrel, and there's too much suction, and it just goes on and on.
Okay.
This guy did the leaf thing. Pile probably about 4 feet by like 30 feet, and a truck drove up with a big hose. The hose is this big. And a guy steps out like this, and he gets his handle. There's another guy driving, and he just creeps along like this, and the guy sucks up all the leaves.
Oh, the luxury.
Then the marketing begins. Painted on the side of the truck was a phone number. That truck went to the next house. That person ran out with cash, gave it to him.
Oh, hands down. Take my money. Take it.
And there must have been 5 people as I was looking down the 5 blocks.
That's hysterical.
It's like 5 people ran out and were like, take my money. Here's a puppy.
Well, you know where they came up with the leaf-sucking technology, right, for that volume?
No.
They actually came up with and you should remember this back.
This isn't the Gophers, is it?
Yeah, it's the prairie dogs.
Is that psychic or what?
You are eerie. In southern Utah and a lot of the other desertland states, they were having a huge problem in the Four Corners area with prairie dogs. I mean, cattle and horses were like dropping into the holes and breaking their legs and dying and things, and it was damaging all of these irrigation areas, and they were like half crazed, and they're like, we don't know what to do. This guy actually came up with a sucking technology. I think it was out of Australia. They were using it for something down there.
The tube was about this big.
And it would literally suck the prairie dog out of its hole, and they would take I don't want to know what happened to the prairie dogs.
We told Erin there's a big Nerf wall that the thing would and live.
I don't think that really happened now.
So they went around, they took care of the problems. Big sucking machines, very, very valuable.
But there was a specific technology they had to come up with so that the filter would not get clogged,
right,
so that the suction would maintain. And so that's the same technology that they've used for these big leaf-sucking trucks now.
It is so awesome. You could clean up.
Oh, seriously. I'd be on the sidewalk, just take my money. Here's my husband's wallet.
I don't
not
have
my
to
purse.
bag it. Nice. I would love that.
That's pretty funny. Okay, coolest story of the morning. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Go ahead.
Okay, Travel Pass Group is a Lehigh-based company down in Lehigh, Utah.
Yeah.
This is a horrible job offer.
Okay, so
this is a job offer so insulting that I can't believe any human being would have the common decency to offer this.
Would I do it?
Well, they want to send someone to Cancun, Mexico for 6 months and pay them $10,000 a month.
I could do
The
that.
catch is you must share your fun experiences on social media
I could
because
do
they will
that.
schedule you for swimming with whale sharks and ziplining through the trees.
I could do that.
And they want to do all of this and show this part of the world and have someone blog about it in person.
I could blog.
And they say that, you know, they just have to find someone who enjoys travel as much as they do because they have such passion for it.
I could definitely do that.
And that would be so horrible to live in Cancun and be paid $10,000 a month for
We
it.
could do the show from there.
That would be just dreadful.
And then we come back every once in a while and see the kids. And we go back.
They're calling it the CEO or Cancun Experience Officer. And if you want to do this, basically you just need to do an online video. 1 minute, that's all you need, just saying why you'd be a great Cancun CEO officer for this experience. And then just go to ceo.cancun.com. 6 months, 60 grand.
Australia did this.
Remember off the Great Barrier Reef?
So basically what this is just advertising. But off the Barrier Reef, an island, you had to go out and keep track of a couple numbers, do some snorkeling, do some fishing, do some stuff, and blog about it. And it got so much free press that they figured for what they spent, they got millions
Insane.
and
Oh, yeah.
millions and millions of dollars worth of advertising for it.
I'm totally willing to let them use me for free advertising as long as I'm getting the cocktails and the $60,000 and the whale sharks. I want to take one home with me. I just want one.
We'll work on that.
I think it's only fair.
Guess who was called to jury duty?
It's going to be
You've
somebody
been called.
important.
You've been called before.
Like 3 times.
And what do you do?
No, okay, here's the catch. I know everyone always brags about how they get out of jury duty, but the reality of a jury of your peers is a very real threat.
It's true.
And if you're actually on trial for your life or even something like real estate or trying to get your money back or something, do you really want the 12 people that they couldn't think of a good enough excuse to get out of it? Do you really want that? So each time, they would ask me what I did for a living, and I have to say I'm a news director. I'm a news reporter. I report news. And they don't want you to know any of that stuff at all. They want someone who's lived in the basement and plays Pokemon Go. So every time they just threw me off.
But it is your American responsibility.
Well, aside from that, it really is self-preservation. Who do you want on your jury if your life depends on it?
We did have a friend in radio, and basically he's really successful. And he thought he got called, and he went, "Oh, this will be great. I'll go in and do a case.
I can use it for the show.
Get like a week, whatever." Turns into a murder. And 2 months into this, and he's not doing his radio show, and he's trying not to get fired at this point. And then it just kept going and going, and finally he convinced everybody just to kill him, and it was a parking ticket. But they took a guy out, and so he got to go back to work. Well, anyway, when you go to a jury. You go
Impaneling, yeah.
And you sit down paneling. It's called.
When they impanel you,
And then they ask you your opinion on the death penalty. On what else? What
Well,
else?
a lot of things that specifically pertain to the case. What is your feeling about,
right.
social media, or what do you feel about theft, or aardvarks? It's
shaving
really
puppies of puppy bellies. Is that how do you feel about that? Well, they had someone, and it was kind of interesting. He actually came with a group of people because it was Barack Obama. They got called on jury
President
duty.
Obama. Let me guess. I'm guessing somehow he didn't get to stay.
But he got to sit down, and the person got to ask him some questions.
If I were the attorney, I'd be like, "No, I just want to talk to him. I don't care. Just make him sit down. It'll be
He's
fun."
an attorney, so I mean, it was that was pretty cool. And then they dismissed him. Might have been because the 8 guys with guns in the room.
Yeah.
Secret Service people were there. So.
That's hysterical.
Isn't that funny? But he went. He didn't make an excuse. He didn't say, "Oh, don't you know who I am?" No, he said, "I'd love to."
Yeah, step up. We'll do my job.
There you go.
Very nice. Thank you. Okay, now I have to admit, this is something that you have maintained for years, and every time we watch Titanic, which we do because on principle it's on and you have to watch it,
Rose is a selfish woman. After the boat sinks, what does she float on? A big wooden door. How big is that door? Pretty freaking big.
Well, we had the argument at the time that he tried to climb on with her, but it kept like flipping over, and then he realized it only could support her weight.
Yeah, because she wasn't like moving over far enough. Even James Cameron.
Well, apparently, Abigail Wicks, Christy Zhang, and Julie D'Amato agree with you. There's 3 Utah girls that used math to prove that Rose could have totally scooched over a smidge and let Jack on the door with her as they awaited rescue from the wreckage of the Titanic. So basically, these are 15-year-old girls, but they'd seen the movie and they got really into it, and they're like, this sucks for poor Leonardo. So
Right.
they went through it and they said, we looked at how buoyant the door would have been, how would have changed if there were people on top of that, what would the rate ratio be? But then we had to fiddle with different buoyancies and then look at the materials that would be realistic
Plus,
for
they're
that
wearing
time.
life vests. Well,
15 years old
she
again.
was.
Oh, I think they both were. And in fairness,
he
you know,
wasn't.
there was a couple of things that they couldn't add in, like the freezing level water of the ocean and blah, blah, blah. And that they said the only way this really would have worked if they'd taken their life jackets off and put them under the door for buoyancy, and then Jack could have gotten on. But they said that no, he totally could have gotten on there, and they were very disappointed how it worked out. Now, these are three 15-year-old local girls, mind you, who did math to come up with this concept. The director, James Cameron, who has made Avatar and every other multi-trillion, billion-dollar movie in the world, so you know he must be very big and important, actually answered them on Twitter and
yeah.
defended his position.
He does. No, I've seen him do this before as well.
He goes, okay, so let's really play that out. You're Jack, you're in the water that's 28 degrees, your brain is starting to go to hypothermia.
Right.
Mythbusters ask you now to go take off your life vest, take off her life vest, swim underneath this thing, attach it in some way that it won't wash out in 2 minutes later, which means you're underwater, tying this thing on in 28-degree water that's going to take you in 5 to 10 minutes, so by the time you come up, you're already dead. So he said, so that wouldn't work. He said his best choice was to keep his upper body out of the water so that his heart rate would be able to continue in hopes that he could get pulled out of the water before he died.
You know, I don't do a lot of impressions, but I'd like to do mine of Jack now. I will set the scene. I will set the scene. Rose on the door, selfish wench that she is. Jack's talking to her about going on and living a life, and his little hands are clenched to hers like this. And then finally his head kind of starts to bob down. And what does she do? She starts prying his fingers up one at a time like this until she gets all 10. And then in the movie, the overhead shot, this is what you see. Thank you.
I'm sure this haunted Rose for many years.
Why didn't she blow the friggin' whistle faster?
Anyway, girls, I'm very proud of you. And
I'm king of the
just the
world!
fact that you could come up with something compelling enough to piss off James Cameron to be forced to answer you back.
Good job, ladies.
I'm very proud of you,
And
sisters.
I'm so with you.
All right, now we must like Drake, and I will tell you why, for two good reasons.
Drake
of
is-
course, the rapper, the hip-hopper.
Yep.
He's adorable, has a nice beard and mustache. He's very sweet. Two good reasons. Number one, he collects Birkin bags to gift to his future wife.
I don't know what that means.
Birkin bags are like the most heatedly sought-after handbags in the world. I mean,
Like
they're,
yours?
they're the thing. No, mine is not anywhere as exciting as a
Let me see
Birkin
it.
bag. Yeah, I don't know if you remember, it's Sex in the City, but like they would do unbelievable things to get a hold of a Birkin bag. So he actually collects these, and he has like 20. He goes, I'm just keeping them for my future wife because I know
understand.
she'll enjoy those.
Is he engaged?
No, he just goes for the woman I end up with one day. He goes, she'll like the Birkin bags, and when I come
But-
across them, I try to get them.
Will she love him for himself or for the bags?
I'm pretty sure for both, because he was the guy who supplied her with them. But here's number two reason that we must love Drake, and this is why. Apparently, Harvey Weinstein, which we've all addressed ad nauseum, and what he is,
Lech.
and that he's currently undergoing sex therapy in Europe, which I'm sure is exhausting. But he is one of the 3 or 4 most powerful producers, not anymore, in Hollywood. Well, last year he went after Drake with a vengeance, saying, I really want you to star in this movie. It's called Heist. It's going to be great. I really want you to star in it. Really, really, really.
And this is like his first big movie break,
Yeah,
right?
he hasn't gone into that side of the business yet.
Right.
So he turned him down. He turned Harvey Weinstein down.
Why?
And this just barely started surface again after all of the allegations with Harvey Weinstein. And they said, why did you turn him down? He was like one of the 3 most powerful. And he goes, well, I talked with 5 different people, and I asked about his, his reputation and who he was. And I got bad reports back, and so I didn't. And they said, well, who did you talk to? Because I don't think that's anybody's business. He said, but I did talk to 5 of the women who had worked with him. And after what they told me, there's no way I could work with this man. Now, this is a guy who's pretty famous, but he hasn't become a star. And he turned down what was surely a star-making opportunity because he couldn't morally accept what this man was.
All right, so
I love you so much, Drake.
all right, so he's got talent.
Now I have to listen to your music.
He's not hard to look at. Okay, he's got integrity, and he's got the bags.
This load of Birkin bags.
That's
What is not
quadruple threat.
What's not like to like about this man?
Right? Mm-hmm. All right, and some of the women will love him too. There's a lot of people.
All right, we better go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Utah Credit Approval. Bad things happen to good people, but you can get your credit back on track and a reliable automobile by calling 801-921-9819. Also by Columbus Travel. This is the perfect time to start looking at some of the special options for cruises and all those all-package inclusive deals to the beach. They're the guys who can take care of you at columbusvacations.com. Also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. You need 24-hour service, and these guys are always there for you. 801-652-4755. It's All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Daisy, my dear, what is going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Hello, everyone. Here's what's making headlines Friday, November 10th on GephartDaily.com. A juvenile accused of brandishing a knife inside Syracuse High School and starting a fire outside is now in custody. Syracuse police said a suspect, who covered his face with a bandana, went into the high school with a knife at approximately 8:30 p.m. Wednesday. When custodians asked him to leave, he pulled out the knife, then left the school, allegedly setting a fire near a dumpster nearby. No one was injured in the incident. Operation Rio Grande Phase 3 began Thursday. The next step is called Dignity of Work, which focuses on providing work opportunities for those currently experiencing homelessness. The initiative aims to pull public and private partners together to help train people, preparing them for better jobs. It also aims to provide direct workforce development, job coaching, and soft and hard skills training. And the St. George Police Department released exceptionally clear surveillance photos of a man wanted in the robbery of America First Credit Union. The robbery occurred at the credit union inside Lynn's Market at 2928 East Mall Drive just before 7 p.m. Wednesday. The suspect verbally threatened the bank teller, stating he had a gun, but he never showed the gun to the victim, said the St. George Police Department's Facebook page. Anyone with information about the incident is asked to call St. George Police Dispatch. And time now for a look at your Wasatch Front weather, brought to you today by our lovely new sponsors at Brio Technologies, Utah's top audiovisual specialists. It's going to be a very pleasant weekend with temps in the low 60s Friday and low to mid 50s Saturday and Sunday. There's about a 10% chance of rain Sunday, and nighttime lows will hang out in the 30s. That's all for now. For more local headlines 24/7, go to GephartDaily.com. And now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
You were talking to John from All Utah Plumbing the other day.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was. You know what the big thing is right now is heat. And they're going around, they're making sure everyone, and it's so funny because when he goes there, he'll notice certain things, like he says your hoses are still attached. It's plumbing, heating, and air. He goes, your garden hoses are still attached to the bibs, outside faucets. You better take them off because it'll freeze back. And you don't have to do that. Or he walks in and he goes, I just noticed that your gutters are full of leaves. Might want to get a teenager, someone expendable, and get them up there and clean it out. Then it goes into your house, and they go through the process of checking your furnace. $69, that's the end of the month, and $69, they're going to come in. They actually crawl inside this thing. They have checking the gas pressure. They're checking for CO2. They're combustion air. They're checking all these different things for $69. Might be a filter. Every 30 days you're supposed to change them, by the way. I had no idea. So if you want someone with integrity, all you have to do is go to allutahplumbing.com, and they're going to take care of all your needs. Say hi to John for us, too. Would you do that?
And when he does, he'll go, what did he do wrong now? Because that's always how he answers the phone when Todd calls. So. That's true. Okay, you ready for tell me something good that is lovely and wonderful?
Is this horrible at the beginning?
It starts a little scary. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, ready?
There was a legal battle in California. Yvette Henley's father was unable to care for her. She was 4 years old. And they'd found her in terrible conditions.
Right.
Clearly neglectful,
Right.
abusive. I mean, it was a given.
Right.
So
But they got to her.
Yeah, and the judge gave custody to her grandparents.
Okay.
Her father, in the way that I never understand people who could be parents could do this, said, "You're not taking my kid."
Right.
and kidnapped her.
Because I don't take care of her.
Yeah,
So
and I don't care about her, but I still won't let you have her so that she can
it's like a property
be
thing.
happy and cared for. Yeah, it is.
So far, not so good a story.
It's terrifying. So he disappeared.
With her?
Yeah. Now the police are struggling. They're looking everywhere. This is a 4-year-old who everyone considers in a fair amount of danger. This is an Amber Alert. You know, this is an Amber Alert for this little girl, and she's a beautiful creature. Her grandparents are freaking out. Well, here's the deal. The police have an investigator who's really savvy with social media, and he was going online to the man's Facebook page, and he was going through it, and he was trying to look through contacts and people that he had spoken to and interacted with, right? You know, back and forth over the last 6 months, and he had combed through this painstakingly. He found one friend in Surrey, England, that this man had been conversing with as late as like about a week before the kidnapping. So he contacted him privately, and he said, and his name's Harry Brown, and he said, Harry, this is the police, California, we want to let you know what happened. He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Right.
And they said, we need to ask you for help. And he said, what do you need me to do? He said, can you get back in contact with this man? Just talk to him, hey, what's going on? Just say, hey, I'm in a good mood. I wanted to send you a pizza. And he said, I can do that. So he got online, and it took him 1 or 2 tries. The guy finally got back on with him.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, you know, I'm just in this great mood. I'm chilling at home, and I just got these coupons for all these pizzas, but I'm in England and you're in America. Do you want me to send you pizza? The father actually gave him the address of where they were hiding. It was a motel in a town about 8 towns down in Southern California.
Oh, my gosh.
Gave him the address. And
Oh, my gosh.
pizza delivery man goes to the hotel, the little motel with the pizza, and the police are right behind them.
Is there nothing pizza can't do?
And it was incredible to me because I can't even believe how great Harry was to go, I understand. Tell me how I can help, what I can do. And he said, I had no idea that he could be this kind of man. He said we both liked electronics, but he says all I could think about was that little girl and how important it was.
The detective, that was brilliant.
Right?
And imagine how much time that took, which is like their job, I know. But
with a million cases, it's not like I can sit here and comb through social media.
Right.
Yeah. But wasn't that genius?
that is way
Because who
smart.
says no to a pizza?
He was in jail before it got there.
3,000 miles away, and he got his pizza.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that genius?
That's the long arm of the law.
Good one.
All right, so you have a story about Canada.
Well, we'll be talking about that later, but first I have to tell you that Christopher's, we have a winner right now that we wanted to say congratulations to. And if you haven't entered for Christopher's, this is Christopher's Prime Steakhouse, the most luxe steakhouse in the state.
Sizzle.
So we wanted to pick something incredible where you could go with 3 people you love, and you guys could reconnect and hang out and talk and laugh and eat and enjoy yourself. And Christopher, surprisingly enough, knowing our terrible reputation, agreed with us. And so every week we
We
get to
need
pick
all
a
the
winner.
help we can get.
So if you want to enter, all you have to do is just comment on one of our Facebook pages on the show today. You can do that on Gephardt Daily, Gephardt Approved, or on Todd and Erin's page. And today's winner is
starving.
Jim Hepworth. Jim H., congratulations, my friend. Jim H.,
job.
I'll be contacting you to get you all set up for your dinner.
And you can invite us if you want, but you don't have to, but you should.
Now, Canada being the most, polite, normal place on the planet,
Yeah. I'm in love with their Prime Minister, Trudeau.
you do have a man crush.
He is, so incredible and open and loving and caring and respectful.
And he holds baby pandas.
And every time he takes his shirt off, this is not for me, this is for the girls. Every time he takes down to a T-shirt or something, the press goes nuts. And it was funny because he wasn't supposed to win the election. He just came out of nowhere. But he's a really nice guy.
All right, now that you finished your man crush,
Go ahead.
here's just 3 words I would never connect with Canada. Naked car crash. We'll tell you about it next. Just keep dreaming, honey. The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Utah Credit Approval. Bad things happen to good people, but repair your credit and find the car you want at Utah Credit Approval. Just call 801-404-7201. Also by Columbus Travel. Sign up for their weekly newsletter today for some screamingly good last-minute travel deals. You can do that at columbusvacations.com. And also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. This is the perfect time to check out your heating system and make sure that you're ready for the cold winter months ahead. Go to allutahplumbing.com. And don't forget 24-hour service.
So Jeff, you do mortgages, right?
I do.
How do you do?
Well, you go to our website, 4minutemortgage.com, fill out the application. We'll call you within 1 business day. The whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
We went to the bank
They got really personal.
and went through all of our personal records and all of our finances.
And then there was that little deal about the $8,000 closing costs.
Took like 4 months.
That's funny. That's funny.
Almost like a name of a new band, Bare Butt Canucks,
That would actually be a great band,
isn't it?
right? Like something like thrash or something, thrash
Right?
metal.
All right.
Totally.
So
All right.
tell me the story.
This is really weird. 3 naked people arrested at a collision scene near Edmonton will be charged with kidnapping.
Naked.
Apparently, the Canadian Mounties arrested 5 naked people after a purposeful collision with a truck.
You know they always get their man.
Apparently so. Well, the interesting thing, though, is that 2 of the people apparently didn't want to be naked, but were anyway.
So 3 naked people.
Kidnapped 2 other naked people and required them also to become naked. They were clothed and then kidnapped and then required to become naked. And then, for whatever reason, in their unreasoning joyride across Edmonton, Canada, they entered into a purposeful crash with a truck,
Purposeful.
meaning they intended to crash into the truck,
With bare bottoms?
I guess. And the sad part is I looked and looked and looked for a legal image for this because I'm like, there's got to be something with 5
Well, no,
naked
it's
people in a truck crash.
Bare butts. You wouldn't.
But there was nothing. So Canadian Mounties are still trying to figure it out, and they're like, we're a little at a loss trying to understand. But the way they listed it, it was so funny. These people were not clothed at the time of their arrest.
They were dressed.
Okay, that's good. There you go.
I,
I know. I can't understand it either. Now tell this next one, because this makes me very happy. This is something that is so well deserved, and anyone who works with special ed teachers knows this already.
$4,000. My dad was a teacher. He ate a lot of hamburger. You guys call it whatever you call it.
Hamburger.
Hamburger. Ground meat is what you call it.
Ground beef.
So
I think we just call it hamburger, but okay, go on.
it's because I make you. So we lived very frugally, and my dad was a teacher. And now, if you listen to people talk about being a teacher, they're spending money out of their own pockets.
Almost always.
$400 or $500 a year for pencils, bare necessity kind of things. There's also a bunch of teachers who do a lot of extra work, and not all teachers do. I know, special ed teachers.
They are God's chosen. They're absolutely God's chosen. Their schoolrooms always have more students than they can possibly handle. They don't get as much support as they could use, even though I think that most school districts are desperate to try to help them because of all the different kinds of learning disabilities and different kinds of cognitive issues, as these numbers are skyrocketing on special needs kids.
Well, you have a kid over here on a ventilator in a wheelchair, and then you have another person over here who's freaking out. And I mean that it's okay
In a
the
loving
way I
way.
mean
Well,
it.
no, but oppositional defiant disorder maybe, and so they're kicking holes in the wall.
So where do you go? Where do you go?
You get
Where do
another
you go?
child with autism.
And this takes up a huge amount of time, and a lot of them sometimes get AIDS. But this is a $4,000 grant, like they do for math teachers. Did you know that?
Isn't that wonderful? And they should, but special ed especially, it's like these children are so amazing and they can do so much if they're given help.
Because we have our Lisa, and she works with Zach.
Who is an angel.
She is. She's a tough woman. Holy mackerel.
She's had to be.
So I think this is really cool. So they're going to do also, for every additional year, you get another 1,000. The limit is 10,000, which means you can hire an aide. You can hire an aide and have help in the classroom.
Or
Plus
maybe
have-
you could buy more materials that you need, or you could take the kids out to places that would enrich their experience and help them understand the world. I mean, all these things that really matter that are so crucial. And I think that every family now has somebody either in your family or you know a child with autism or ADHD or another special issue.
Right.
And it's not like this is this rare thing. This is like
Right.
every family faces this. And so I think we all have an investment in really pushing this. It's going up on the Hill this year.
Right.
And it's Representative Val Potter.
So,
So it's definitely worth calling in for.
and the cool thing
Reminding
is,
your lawmakers.
this is so unlike the state, but they're actually going to the person who does the work and ask them what they need, as opposed to saying, you know what they need? They need a trip to the fire engine place where it's, the sirens will drive them crazy. And the teacher would never do that because they have sensory issues with loud noises sometimes. And the teacher would actually know where to go and to use that money. So it actually went to the users and the teachers that know how to do this.
That is absolutely wonderful.
What state do I live in?
So we will remind you, and maybe you can all help us push on this together, because
Yeah.
it's a big one.
Your sister, by the way, her sister, Julie, is, I don't even know how to say this about Hamilton. She
Complete fanatic, like she knows every word of every song.
Not only does she know the entire Broadway show, she knows his entire life history because she went back and studied it and where he came from and how many brothers and
And
sisters.
she knew the entire original cast, which she reminds me of constantly. She has seen them in New York and in Seattle. It's insane.
They stalking her.
But you know what? Once you get into it and you understand it, you're like, oh my God, because it is such an incredible presentation, not only of U.S. history, but of the whole representation of the human world on this stage, and
Right.
all these different amazing actors and the stuff they do.
Once again, imagine pitching this. It's this thing about an old president
Alexander Hamilton,
and he sings
there's going to be singing.
and signing of declaration.
It was freaking amazing. Well, Lin-Manuel Miranda is not from Puerto Rico, but he was the star. He plays Hamilton.
Yes.
In the first cast, which of course is like being first edition. of books. But he had been watching the situation in Puerto Rico, and he was like, "Okay, what can I do to help?" And he was at
What does he do best?
So he actually did all of these wild machinations, and he actually convinced everybody from the original cast to go down to Puerto Rico and do the play there for like a 2-week run. Now, the big goal here is number one, they want to bring attention to the plight of Puerto Rico. Number two, they want to give a chance for people to look forward to it. There are things to do, and they're passing out tons of free tickets. Number three, they're looking for a fundraiser. They're looking for corporations here to donate money.
Because something about the Puerto Rican people, they need electricity.
They're so
Wow.
demanding.
They are and drinking water for their children.
But I absolutely love this. So he wants to raise money for those affected by Hurricane Maria. It's going to be for a limited run, but they actually have all of their original costumes in the Smithsonian. He goes, it's a bit of a day. He goes, I have a little bit of time just to remember the words. But everyone was so excited.
That's cool.
And so this is going to be a huge thing, and it's going to be a huge amount of money. But it's a ridiculous undertaking. And he was kind of like thinking, there's no way I'm going to be able to get everybody to do this. But everybody said yes. He said, I didn't even have to do a bit of arm twisting, which I was ready for.
That's because everyone in society knows that Puerto Rico's got the short end of the stick.
And it's one of our territories and part of us.
They're Americans.
Part of us. So I thought that was a wonderful story.
All right, so you have something on Twitter. What is this?
Okay, so we've talked a lot about Stranger Things, and if you haven't seen it, season 2 just came out on Netflix, and people are just insane about it.
Now, which came out?
Absolutely insane. Season 2. And Stranger Things is just, you have to watch it to understand it, but it's this huge cult movement now. And the minute you watch the first episode, I'm sorry, you're so screwed. You're into it.
I have waited.
But Finn Wolfhard and all the kids, all of the actors in this show have like the weirdest names and the quirkiest
I
personalities
know
in
this
real
show.
life. They're just like the funniest, goofiest
They're
people.
odd
But they have
and wonderful.
They have an insane following, just insane, obsessive, and especially with kids in social media,
Right.
They're nuts. Well, apparently there was quite a lot of harassment towards the younger part of the cast, of people telling you this or that, or commenting on their appearance, or saying
Right,
this, or
right.
blah blah blah. Well, Finn is one of the big stars, and he finally came up on Twitter and said, "Okay, hey everybody, I don't want to have to excommunicate. Look at these sweet faces. Look at those people." And it's like, they really are just kids. You can't be mean to them. He said, I don't want to excommunicate anyone from the fandom, but if you're for real, you will not harass my friends. You all know who you are. And he says, why would I even have to tweet that? I don't know. Anyone who calls themselves a fan and actively goes after someone for
shame.
literally acting and doing your job
Shaming them.
is
Nice.
ridiculous. Think before you type, boy.
Nice.
But I love the fact that he came up to the defense of the younger cast members, because it is, when you see it, it's quirky and goofy as crap, but it's so charming. And to go after these kids for anything is just, they're adorable, aren't they? The quirky one with the big crazy hair is my favorite.
Yes, they are. Hey, coming up next, Zombies Like Wine. We're going to find out more. Don't do that voice. We'll be back.
The Todd and Erin morning stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Did you know that you can qualify for a mortgage with a credit score as low as 600? Just go to fink-mcgregor.com for more information. It's mortgages made simple. Also by the Vein Clinic. There's several excellent varicose vein removal procedures, but you need to find the right one for you. You can do that by scheduling an appointment at theveinclinic.com. And also by Black Diamond Heating, Electric, Plumbing, and Air. Black Diamond Experts, they also have a brand new office open in Ogden. You'll be glad you called an expert. blackdiamondexpert.com.
Apply today.
And drive away.
All right, this is Lucy. Say hi. Lucy's got a little allergy.
She's the morning stream mascot. I love you, little booty. I love you, little booty. You're so funny.
The first gentleman you saw is not our mascot. It's Monaco.
I know.
There's Monaco. He doesn't know he's on TV, does he?
No, I don't think he does. Monaco is actually
You gotta be quiet.
one of our crack reporters.
Yeah.
And also our drone
Okay,
master.
get off him before he does something gross.
And so,
All right. So this is Lucy. She works downstairs.
hello. I know. Are you okay?
She's got mittens on because she has an allergy, and she might end up getting a cone.
Don't say it out loud. Don't say it. Such a good dog.
All right, so you're going to tell us something.
All right, I won't pitch my voice up discernible only to bees, only because Lucy is here.
Okay, I'm right here.
Walking Dead. Let me see if there's anything that could be cooler as an accessory to Walking Dead than a cocktail. Yes, my friend. Lot 18 paired with the Walking Dead franchise. And they've created these special varietals specifically for the characters. And so they're saying every time, because the cast has a thing where every time a new character is killed off, they have a huge dinner and they all together as a cast and they toast the dead character. Well, they've got 3 new ones that are amazing for Rick Grimes, Daryl Dixon, and Negan. They're all reds because it's a zombie show. Who's going to drink a white? The Daryl Dixon bottle comes emblazoned with a set of angel wings, like his jacket. They said it's described as smoky, deep California Cabernet Sauvignon, marked with notes of ripe fruit, coffee beans, and herbs. Nice.
And brains sliding out the side of it.
Rick Grimes is a California Petite Syrah. The flavors are meant to channel him. They described it as bold, dark, and balanced, exhibiting a notable tension between bright acidity and firm tannic structure. You realize that one sip with that this is a wine that will never let you down. Now the Negan one, this is what I'm excited for because I always go for the bad guys. His wine stands above the rest with a unique aging preparation. Part of the red blend is kept in bourbon barrels for 3 months before bottling so that the wine gets a distinct flavor. It's composed of 73% Merlots, 18% Zinfandel, and 9% Petite Syrah. This is a wine that packs a punch harder than Lucille's. Nice. I'm so excited. We are going to have to order a case. You know that. I got to have the Nixon. I got to have the Negan one. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Tell
What do
me
you
that's
think?
not the coolest thing ever.
Ooh, right on the lips. Oh. I love dogs and all, but that was on the lips. You know that scene in Something About Mary? Where the grandmother just goes at it with the... Okay, tell them what's coming up next.
Okay.
We're gonna go.
Let's
now.
go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Fink and McGregor Mortgages Made Simple. Just go to fink-mcgregor.com. 4 minutes, and you can find out all the different options that are available to you. Also by the Vein Clinic. I just had a procedure there. I'm dying to show it to you. There are so many different new painless procedures that leave little or no scarring to get rid of all of those miserable varicose veins. Go to theveinclinic.com to schedule an appointment. And Black Diamond experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. They're also now open in Ogden, so it's even closer to you up there. You can get them at blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, my dear, what's going on today?
Good morning, Todd and Erin. Hello again, everyone. Here's a look at national and world news Friday, November 10th on GephartDaily.com. U.S. officials are contemplating a meeting between President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said, but a Kremlin aide said they've already scheduled the meeting for Friday. The time is being agreed upon and it will take place on November 10th, Yuri Ushakov, an aide to Putin, said. Tillerson identified the Middle East as one of the top issues Trump and Putin would discuss. Asked if the list of issues includes Russia's meddling in the 2016 U.S. election, Tillerson said it stays on that list. It didn't take long for a new self-driving shuttle van in Las Vegas to get into an accident, but the driver of the other vehicle gets the blame, police said. The 11-passenger autonomous shuttle van made by French company Navia entered service in Las Vegas Wednesday, traveling a half-mile route. City officials said the delivery truck backed into the van while both were on a downtown street, causing minor damage to the driverless shuttle. The van came to a stop when it sensed that the truck was closing in on it. And all of Kevin Spacey's scenes in the upcoming All the Money in the World will be reshot with Christopher Plummer, producers announced. The film is scheduled for a December 22nd release, giving the film's producers less than 2 months to completely redo all of Spacey's scenes. But Spacey only worked on the film for about 8 days, and many of his scenes are alone, so producers believe they can complete the task in time, Variety reported. According to Deadline, which first reported the story, the decision to replace Spacey was unanimous by the film's cast, crew, and Sony Pictures after recent sexual abuse allegations have dogged the Oscar-winning actor. That's it for now. For more headlines from across the country and around the world, go to GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thanks. Let's go back and look at the show's mascot one more time.
Which one?
Monaco. The good thing is he works for Kibble. But don't feed him any human food because you see what he does in the carpet. Okay.
Look at that look of hatred.
Go away. Before he's going to do something weird.
This is Monaco. It could be anything. He can drop a drone on our heads.
All right, Black Diamond.
Okay. A Black Diamond. Electric, plumbing, heating, and air. The nice thing about Black Diamond, number one, they also have a new office now in Ogden, so they're even closer to you in Weber County. Number two, they are available 24/7. If there's an emergency, they're there. And it's funny, some of the texts have actually told me their personal story of, yeah, it's Christmas morning and I'm waist deep in sewage in someone's basement. Now, that's obviously not why you want to call them in the first place, because it would be a lot easier just to have them come in and check up. For instance, right now, with furnaces especially, it's a big deal. You can make your furnace work more efficiently. You can save thousands of dollars in energy costs if you get it checked out and make it work right. You can protect your family from CO2 or a host of other problems by making sure that everything's the way it should be. And it's really inexpensive because once they quote you something, they stick with it. That's the nice thing about Black Diamond. There's never any special little extra charges. It's exactly what they said it would be. And if you need that kind of guy and you need it for the list of your experts on your kitchen cabinet, these are the guys. Go to blackdiamondexpert.com to make an appointment.
All right, let's go back to the mascot of our show.
Which one
and
this
just
time?
Monaco again.
He's going to flip you off if you don't stop. Monaco, now you look like the Unabomber.
He's in
it's
the
not
hood.
helping.
Oh, yeah, he does, doesn't he? All right, get off him. Stop. All right, so...
Poor man.
So,
Omarosa.
who's Morosa? Why do I...
Omarosa.
Omarosa who?
Don't you remember I can't believe I've just said this.
Her.
The Apprentice?
Yeah.
The Apprentice,
Oh,
Donald
she was
Trump's.
the mean one.
Don't you remember Donald Trump's The Apprentice?
She's
She was actually
crazy.
on the reality show twice because she's such a horrible human being.
She's crazy.
That everyone hated her so much that they brought her back because it's attention for the show. It's
Everyone
tension.
loves to hate.
Well, no, but that's tension for the show, and she's dreadfully horrible, and she knew that that's why they brought her back, so she didn't even bother to pretend to be pleasant
She
because it's
kicked
like,
it up a notch.
you hate me, I'm here for that.
So,
Donald Trump gave her a job in the White House. So she does have access there. Well, this is pretty interesting. She's Director of Communications for the Office of Public Liaison, and apparently that job's not going very well. She traipsed into the White House with members of her wedding party to do a photo op. Now, number one, you have to get
Whoa.
permission for anything you do in the White House, I mean, like including sneezing. So doing a huge photo op with multiple members of your wedding party is considered a no-no. She brought 39 people to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue for an extended wedding photo shoot, loudly wandering around, snapping photos in the Rose Garden throughout the West Wing. There was no formal permission, and finally, at some point, they found out, Secret Service said, you all have to leave, and the head of her office said, okay, we're now officially going to ban any of those photos. Not thinking really closely,
oh no.
this is what she put up to complain. That's right, no pictures. I mean, what is the effing point for being the Director of Communications in the Office of Public Liaison if you can't publish pictures of yourself in your reportedly comped cap sleeve, blush embroidered ball gown, lounging in the very same Rose Garden where Donald Trump pulled the United States out of the Paris Climate Agreement? She actually complained, continuing to show absolutely no sense whatsoever, and also managed to get in pimping out the fact that she got her wedding gown for free, all in one sentence. That's word economy, my friends.
I'm glad I don't know her. I'm glad I mostly know nice people. All right, so coming
So there
up.
you go.
Coming up, it's always hard when you forget a password, and you, especially if you've changed them a lot. You keep changing them, and you keep thinking, I'll remember. No, you're not. And then you suddenly go, maybe I'll make them all the same, but you still can't because you can't remember the first one. I'll tell you a story that's tying up $280 million. We're doing that next.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Go to fink-mcgregor.com for mortgages made simple. Because they're a broker, they have a number of different options they can offer you. Just go through a 4-minute questionnaire and someone will call you back by the next business day and get you on your way. It's fink-mcgregor.com. Also by Utah Credit Approval. Utah Credit Approval knows that there's sometimes the bad things happen to good people and that credit may be hard to repair. But you can apply today and drive away today with Utah Credit Approval. Just call 801-404-7201. And also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Go to allutahplumbing.com to schedule a check to make sure that you're ready for winter. And don't forget, they have 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com.
GetPartDaily.com. Thanks for joining us today. Of course, you know our mascot, Monica.
Has he left the building?
No, he's right there.
Dude, you look like the Unabomber.
Yeah, he
Seriously.
does. Seriously does.
You take the hood down, honey.
No, leave it up.
He really hates us, doesn't he?
It's a good idea.
Well, he's never going to bring us tamales
Okay,
again.
leave him alone.
Never.
Let him go. Okay, got to get him off. We're going to have to pay him at some point. All right, thank you. Good Lord. So let's talk about passwords for a second. I will admit this. On my passwords, you ever make a password when you're really mad? You've done that. Everyone's done that.
Mine tend to be angry. Yours tend to be...
Mine's flirty.
That's the word you would use? Really?
Kind of sassy. And it's been fine. It hasn't caused me any trouble. It's been great. My laptop at the last place we worked had some issues. So we have an IT company down there, and I just brought my laptop, and I gave it to them, and I said, it's doing this, and would you take a look at it? And they sure, no problem. And they said, give us a call, at about 3 o'clock. So I said, okay. So I leave. I get a phone call at home. And they said, Todd, we need to get in. We don't have your password. And I said, you don't have my password, and I forgot. And my password to open my computer, some would consider risque.
Really?
And I thought,
Is that what you're going with?
and I thought to myself, I'm not sure, because she seems so innocent. And I said, I'll be down in about 20 minutes. So I went down, I changed it, and then I gave it to her.
You know perfectly well they were laughing, and they knew exactly why you had to do that. You know that,
Oh,
right?
yeah. I know that, because I'm immature.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, this
You know
is
what?
the problem.
That is so much less horrible
Right.
than this.
This is true. So, and I'm learning about this because I didn't know what this is called. It's, cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrency is kind of like startup companies will get to do this, and it's so no one has control of the money by themselves,
Yeah.
right?
It's like a wallet where everything's locked. Yeah.
Exactly, and you need the code to get in, and two people have to do it, and that way you have access to your funds. Well, someone actually went into the bank, the computer system, and erased them all.
They erased part of the code.
Yeah. And so now no one can get their money out.
And no one can remember what the full code was.
Well, and even if they put their code in, it's been eliminated, and so they can't get to their money. It's only $280 million.
Floating around the ether. $280 million.
So is this like Bitcoin? Not really. This is actual currency.
No, this is actual currency, but the point is that where it's stored and what they're doing with it is in the ether. No one knows where it is. That's the point.
And did you ever start, I think I'm normal on this. You went, oh, Yahoo, I think I'll join up. This is way back when, right? And then you moved on to something else and maybe another Yahoo account or like this. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, to save your password, we're sending it back to your Yahoo account. And you were like, I don't know what the hell that is. Or when I started.
We just went through that about 6 months ago, didn't we?
Oh, my God.
There was some swearing from you, and you're not
And
usually
then-
the one who swears.
And then you call, and of course their securities can tell you no. And I go, but listen, I've got everything I need is right there. I need to get in, and I just don't know how to. And they said, I'm sorry, security is for everybody, and there are no exceptions. You will lose your account now. No flowers, no candy, no apology.
Yeah, but we didn't have 280 million.
If we did,
It would have been a more urgent request.
it'd be buried in the backyard where it's safe.
You know how long
Safe
it would
and
take to
sound.
excavate enough dirt to get $280 million in
Yes,
there?
but you could buy your own backhoe made of gold.
All right. What's this about Paris? Because I've always dreamt of going there anyway, and I would love to go there with you. It is the most romantic city in the world. I mean,
Well, that's what they say.
strolling down.
That's what they say. But they are also one of the most concerned for their citizens. In the Paris, the taxes are unbelievable. But for
They have
that,
spectacular health care. They have
healthcare,
excellent education.
and all this. But they have something that I didn't know about.
Tell me, what is this thing you do not know about the French waiter?
Fermez les bouches, I shall talk. Close your mouth. So basically, they have set up fountains of sparkling water throughout the city.
Are you kidding me?
Not like this. They're
You
drinking.
stick your whole face in it. But I liked the vision of
I
it.
do too. It's kept at 44 degrees Fahrenheit. It is carbonated with CO2, and it is available free to anyone.
Sparkling water fountains.
The person in France, people and they used to say it because the water was horrible back before filtration and stuff, and that's why they had kids drinking wine. Which don't recommend that. Don't do that. Drinks 40 gallons of bottled water a year.
The average Parisian, yeah.
Yes, and now now they thought that they're going to actually add more. There's 8 of them right now, and
That's
they're going to add
hysterical.
more. So it's like
So you reduce the waste of all the bottles. You keep everybody hydrated.
you can
And there's
go
motivation because it's like kind of awesome.
and you can fill. It's not like you're putting your mouth on the spout. You fill up jugs and you take them home, and I think it's brilliant. But
A sparkling water fountain kept at just 42 degrees Celsius.
their public bathrooms have bidets. That's untrue. I just made that up.
It's possible they have bidets.
With
Okay.
sparkling water.
At this point,
Why
anything
not?
is possible.
They
Let's
do
just be
pay
honest.
taxes. They do.
All right, we told you earlier about Drake and how he was like being all cool and supportive, and he'd heard from friends about what had happened with Harvey Weinstein, and that he refused to work with him.
Got it.
Well, Keith Urban, apparently the country singer, was moved by the same thing. He's married to Nicole Kidman, you know, the actress, and so she's had dealings.
His hair has always been an issue with me.
Why are you offended by his hair?
I'm not offended. It just looks like they haven't found it yet. They haven't
Like
figured.
there's a look that should be
it
there.
just hasn't figured it out.
Like it goes straight, and then there's kind of that bush over the ear.
And then there's just like a flat bit that goes. Not that I can talk, because he's got a huge amount more hair than I. But just doesn't seem like they pulled that look together yet.
Well, it's interesting. He performed this new song at the Country Music Awards last night, and
Right.
he it's actually night before, excuse me.
Right.
And they like that. I guess his fans have been really excited about it. It's called Female, and he's basically trying to defend women by naming all of the different kinds of women, who you are, sister, shoulder, daughter, lover, blah blah blah, and talking about who they are and that they're right to be as diverse and as interesting and amazing, but they should all be respected as female.
Right.
And that's kind of nice, like sister, shoulder, daughter, lover, healer, broken hailer, mother nature, fire, suit of armor, soul survivor, holy water. So it is a very pretty, it's a pretty song. And it's got some very passionate lyrics. But there's a couple of people who are like, I don't know how I feel about this. One guy says, you know, we've got a line here that says daughter, lover in the middle of it. He goes, I'm going to just check out right now. And this one girl says, the lyrics are like if a middle-aged dude shaved all of his facial hair but left his neck beard, and then the neck beard became a person.
What the?
And then another girl said, look, the song was actually written by 3 different people, none of which were Keith. So she's saying, it smells a little bit more just kind of like a publicity stunt to me. So it depends on whether you want to love it, because...
Is a neck beard a real thing?
Oh, you haven't seen them?
No. So like from here down?
It's a hipster thing, and then they do the chops that go down to it. Yeah.
What I want, because when I had a beard and looked 85 years old, I wanted.
You were scary. I did not realize that till I saw old footage of the show. You look like the kind of guy who buried weapons in your front yard in Montana. You
Front
really
yard,
did.
not backyard. Hardcore front yard, middle of the night.
So go on. I'm sorry.
But I wanted to do that. I wanted an Amish beard. Bring that look back. Straw hat. No mustache. Just that band.
No.
It's like a sweat filter coming down through there.
That'd be disgusting.
I'd be on my own, right? Is that what
Pretty
you're
much,
telling
yeah.
me?
That's what I'm sharing with you now, baby.
This is just a really quick story to say that criminals have hearts too.
Kinda.
The Houston police, there's a robbery division that works there, obviously, and they got a call, and the 3 men came in with their face masked and stuff. It was an armed robbery.
man,
The guy
scary.
had a gun, and they were holding everybody there, and one of the guys collected all the cell phones, so 911 can't call. And sitting there, and while the guy was going through the cash register in the office and grabbing all the money, because evidently donut shops leave money everywhere, the other 2 guys jumped behind the counter and started serving the hostages.
Well, you want to keep the blood sugar up. I mean, you pass out, you get blood on the floor, and they were just concerned.
Maybe that's not a good story for teaching kids what to do. It's like,
So far, crime pays great.
right. I
Can you
mean,
give me one of those maple bars?
we found this lady online. Remember the lady who does the
That was yesterday, wasn't it?
no.
Doing it again? Okay.
Oh no. Excuse me. You're right. I'm sorry. My fault. She's right all the time. I got it. So anyway, this is about honking your horn. Okay. This is a traffic deal.
And this is from Jay Mendoza.
Jay Mendoza.
I'm excited to see this dance here.
And he does, by the way, he does a huge amount of videos and stuff. And this is just one of his latest. So you guys have a good day with the Todd and Erin morning stream at GetBartDaily.com.
I'm getting kind of hungry.
Me too.
What do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want?
Me. I always choose what we eat. Your turn.
Come on.
Hey! Come on, hurry the hell up!
Did he just honk at us?
Oh, hell no.
Good, homie. We got problems? We got problems?
No, it's all good, man. It wasn't even me, man. That was all him, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Shut up.
Hey, man, we just joking, man. Relax. Damn.
What you think?
They cool.
Yeah. Better watch out who you honking at, homie.